Welcome to another edition of Card Authority. We are back on a Friday, and it's been a big couple of days with the official announcement of Footy Stars 2022. Two previews have already been done by the fantastic Lynn Gilmartin and the team at Select, and a third and final preview tomorrow with the on-sale dates and also, I imagine, the prices and the quantities.
I'm sure.
Jenks, welcome aboard. I know you've had a very busy morning this morning on Media Street, bit of 3AW time, but
yeah,
we'll talk about that a bit later.
Session on 3AW this morning. I'm sure everyone will get to see and hear that if they want to a little bit later.
You can plug that somewhere. So look, obviously it's been really exciting. It's always fun when a new release comes out. There's excitement, there's concern, there's fear, there's emotion, all that sort of stuff. But overall, I think, as true collectors that we are and everyone else out there, it's a genuine excitement when a new product comes out.
Yeah.
And Footy Stars, and I guess, look, this is continuing the trend of what Select have done over the last couple of years and have raised the bar again with their offerings. And today we found out there's effectively going to be I call it a jumbo, but I kind of feel like it's a hobby. It's a hobby box.
It's almost like a comparison to like a first off the line type of thing.
Yep.
That you would see in international product, and which even exists a priority box in cricket or in NRL.
Yep.
In Australia. So it's new for AFL. It's nothing new in terms of trading cards, and it literally exists in pretty much every other sports category of trading cards.
I mean, it's kind of like a starter pack.
That's right.
A starter pack has a special.
And I'm sure the first time, well, maybe not back then because cards weren't as popular, but if they were to introduce starter packs for the first time now, you'd have the same issue of people getting very annoyed and aggravated and whatnot. And I think a lot of it's to do with perception.
Yep.
And maybe not looking at the holistic picture of what's going on. And you sort of need to step back a little bit, look at all the information that's there, and then analyze it. And I definitely think, as we see with all releases, when new previews come out, you see those raw emotions get exhibited on social media. And I'm sure that there's people out there right now that will be looking at this going, this is going to be hard. This is not for me. I don't want this anymore. This is too much. It's too substantial. I'm out, or I'm pulling back. But I think once people get a bit of an opportunity to really digest it properly, we'll start to see the positives rise right to the surface there as well.
Absolutely. And look, we're going to obviously find out a lot more tomorrow when the checklist is released, where we can all see it tangibly in front of us.
Yeah.
G'day everyone and saying hello. We'll certainly get to some questions really shortly.
Yeah.
Look, I'll give a bit of a snapshot for anyone that's sort of been stuck under a rock for the last couple of days. So Footy Stars 2022, there is a standard regular box, which is 9 cards, 36 packets.
$2.99 a pack.
So $2.99. So the price has stayed. Yep.
Let's keep in mind the price has stayed for 20 years.
Has it been that long?
Yes.
Yep. So $2.99, still the same price.
Yep.
It's going to be available at my guess at all the usual places: service stations, newsagents, supermarkets, of course, direct from Select, all the hobby stores. We're going to have stock. Everywhere else is going to have stock. And then there is now a jumbo version, which my understanding, and look, I sent a quick email to Select before, but they haven't got back to me yet, is that the jumbos are going to be sold at hobby stores and direct from Select.
Yeah.
So
is that did they mention anything? Is that a direct to the public, or is that an SCC type of thing going on?
My understanding is it's both.
Okay.
I think, obviously,
you would expect it's very limited though. It's not going to be the same quantity of these jumbos.
I can't answer. Until I have a look at the checklist and put it all on my spreadsheet.
Yeah.
I imagine look, is there going to be as much as the normal boxes that's going to mainstream and supermarkets?
I can't see how that's possible.
Probably not.
Yeah.
But I would be very confident that anyone that wants any boxes or multiple boxes is not going to have any chance or any chance of issues or problems getting this stock.
Yeah,
so
everyone will be happy.
Let me just put that, again, we joke about.
Will it sell quickly? Sure. But is it going to sell out in 30 seconds? It's not that type of
Absolutely.
product
There's
because of the way the distribution model works.
Yep.
And we definitely talked about this last year with Footy Stars as well. This is a mass distribution model. This is not a series 2. This is not a supremacy. It's not like that. So it's people shouldn't worry about that. And I don't think people are too worried about that, to be honest. I think the attention very much at the moment is focused on, wow, this is a $3 a pack product or a $6 a pack product in terms of the jumbo.
Yep.
And there is capability now to hit short print cards, which we saw introduced last year.
Yeah, so just before you get to that, so let me just clarify too. All right, so for a normal pack or a normal box, which we've seen for years, it's 9 cards, 36 packets.
Yeah.
Jumbo is 18 packets, 18 cards.
18 packs.
So it's the exact same amount of cards in the box, and that's why the price is doubled, because you're getting still the same amount of cards, but half the packets.
Makes sense. So can also, there's been a lot of conversations I'm certainly seeing within all my chat groups and whatnot as well.
Yep.
People are not quite understanding what the situation is here with the jumbos. And I've seen a lot of comments of people going like, oh, it's a whole different release. So can I just clarify, it's the same release. The base cards you get in the jumbo will be the same as the base cards in the main, in the normal product, in the mass product. There is the same inserts, but some additional
variations.
Yeah, so there's variations and additional ones, as well as most of the original ones that come in the main product.
So I'd use as the example the same with the starter packs, that there was an exclusive starburst that you get in the starter pack, whereas the jumbo, there is a new card that everyone has seen, the numbers card, which looks fantastic.
Yeah.
There is a white, which I think they're called Daylight, and a night one, which is called, I wrote some notes here, Midnight.
Yeah.
So there's Daylight and Midnight. I believe there's numbered to the same.
Yeah.
There's same sort of style card.
Yeah.
But one is exclusive to each release.
Okay, so there's one in each release.
One is release.
Okay.
My only other difference that I've noticed is there's an AFL Classified, which is a numbered card in the normal Footy Stars.
Yeah.
And then there is this blank canvas.
Yeah.
Or as the NBA guys would know, a blank slate. Very similar to that card, which is exclusive to the jumbo.
So I'm going to be honest with everyone here. I haven't had a chance to properly watch the videos multiple times. I glanced them when they first came out, but it feels like it's been a lot to digest. So big shout out to AJ who's put some notes together.
I'll try to very quickly. So look, let's just be really, don't stress that there's these 2 releases now that you have to collect. Yes, there's going to be some, exclusive inserts or alternate inserts is probably a better way, but it's fantastic. Select have effectively solved an issue that people have been discussing for the last 18 months, that the kids are getting shut out of the hobby.
Yeah.
Well, no, what they've actually done is made sure there is plenty of stock there
for the
mainstream kids.
Cheaper inserts, cheap value
and then
cards for the kids, and then for the hobby, and for the collectors, there's actually something that's going to have collectible value to
and
it.
that they can chase.
And the reality is, look, as much as it may seem like, oh, this is now going to go from costing hundreds of dollars to thousands of dollars to do a team set, etc.,
it's still $2.99 pack.
Yeah, it's still $2.99 a pack. Yes, a team set's going to contain more cards and be more expensive, but the cards do have a retained value or a perceived retained value to them anyway. So
absolutely,
it's actually a positive thing. Look, for me, I don't know about all these subsets. I don't know about everything. All I know is that there's a Jack Steele signature card.
Well, let's get to let's get to the signatures in a second. So obviously we've talked about the numbered cards, the AFL Classified, which is in normal Footy Stars, and the blank canvas. I personally love the blank canvas. I mean, I'm not much of an NBA person, but the blank slates that they have in, is it Core Kings?
Core Kings have the blank slates.
Are a beautiful card.
So they look like the blank slate.
It's just
the other ones look like look. In fairness, most of these cards are not unique designs.
No card is.
Yeah, they follow the path. Because what was it in the preview a couple of days ago? One of those looked identical to some American cards that have recently come out. Oh, yeah.
Did you not read the run sheet?
No, not properly.
So they've got a card called the Fractured, okay? And there's a Fractured Arctic Blue. So let's just call it blue. It's a Fractured Blue, even Smurf Blue perhaps.
Yeah.
A Fractured Blue in Footy Stars, and there's a Fractured Acid Yellow in the Jumbo.
Right.
They look like an obsidian card.
That's what it was. It was the obsidian.
Or a prism, you know what I mean?
Look, in fairness,
and they look
at
awesome.
least selectors pick the cards that everyone likes.
Yeah.
Like, the blank slates, obviously, that's the big chase card from Core King. So, that's cool. Very cool.
There's some really, really good cards in there. They've obviously got the Starburst, which, there's Starburst Paint in Footy Stars and Starburst Ice.
Yeah.
Now, everyone knows I'm no fan of Starburst.
Most people would know
But
that.
you
I like it.
You like
And
it?
that's
That's
the
fine.
first question I asked AJ yesterday. It's actually my wedding anniversary, so I was out for lunch right at the time the preview came out. And then after the preview, I said, I didn't get to look at it properly. I said, is there Starburst? Is there numbered Starburst variations? I think you said no, there isn't a number.
Well, I don't know because I haven't seen the checklist.
Right, so
I'm
you
not
don't know if it's numbered or not.
Well, I know definitely the one that we saw yesterday, Footy Stars, wouldn't be numbered because there's
That
always
was the base.
there's
version.
always a base version.
Yeah.
But maybe there is a numbered one that we're going to find out
Okay.
about tomorrow. And then the other unique addition that they've done this year is you've got your base set or your common set. It looks like there's been an increased representation of AFLW, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
But there is also a parallel. So they're calling it a purple foil parallel in Footy Stars, and they're calling it a sunset parallel.
Right.
So what we've definitely seen in a trend, and there's some people that are not liking it as much. I personally love it. I love rainbows in a folder, variations of a card that looks similar, and there's like a flow. I think it looks fantastic on a 9-pocket page.
Yeah.
So you've got a base set, you've got multiple parallels, and there is also a special limited edition 30th anniversary
The stamp,
gold foil.
Stamp. Yeah.
So it's a little bit unlucky for breakers like ourselves that rip packets and go through really quickly through the packet
We're going to
because
go through every base card.
well, because now a base card's going to have a gold stamp. But again, a nice little initiative to have a beautiful rainbow or a flow-on effect. The other interesting thing, which I don't know much information about, no one really does, is there's a Spectrum redemption. So there looks like there is 5 redemption cards across the 2 releases.
3 and 2.
3 in Footy Stars and 2 in Jumbo.
Yep.
Where they're numbered to, I should have written this down, like 120 or 170 or something like that, and you can redeem them and get another card.
Well, do we know what that is?
No idea.
We're not,
I think they said they're going to release details about that soon.
Okay.
But the unique and fun thing about that is, imagine I'm sitting here with a Richmond Redemption number 45, and someone else has a Richmond Redemption 38 of a different number. There's going to be a whole heap of trading going on trying to get close to the same numbers again. So not only are you be looking for the numbers, but it's also going to be a nice trading opportunity to try to match those numbers up of those redemptions. I've got no idea. Look, it's not a signature as far as I know.
Yeah.
I think it's just obviously another subset that they're trying to create and make it more collectible.
Because I recall they had that in Future Force. Oh, what was it? That's right. They had the first draft redemption.
Yep.
Which it wasn't a signature card, but it redeemed back out whoever ended up as the first round draft pick for that for each club. And they're pretty cool cards. Like, they do look cool. So hopefully there'll be something along those lines again.
Yeah, hopefully. And a good look. I imagine we'll get more details about that over the next sort of 24 hours or 36 hours or something like that.
Some good commentary already coming through. G'day, guys. Welcome on board, everyone.
Also, Brownlow Predictors Gold are back. And obviously, look, in my opinion, it's the best looking Brownlow Predictor I've ever seen.
The current one?
This one that's coming out.
I'm a big believer of need to see cards in hand, as you know, because I just still feel like I think videos just don't do anything.
Just the way that it's designed, the white and everything, it looks beautiful.
I feel like it's going to have like a pearl sort of or a sheen or something.
I don't think so, but again, I'm not sure. Coleman's are back, which were incredibly successful last year.
Yeah.
I mean, a cheap Coleman win with only 50 goals, but anyway, that's a conversation for another time.
Max King.
But the booklet Coleman for Harry Mackay was fantastic. Premiership Redemption is back. I mean, to be honest, I didn't really overly love the design of the Coleman and the Premiership Redemptions.
Like in the actual cards inserted in the packets?
Yeah, look, from what we've seen in the preview.
I didn't mind them at all, actually. I thought they were pretty clean. I thought they were actually classy.
I thought the Premiership one was a bit plain. It didn't have any details on the cup.
But it had the whole background with the holographic and everything. I don't know. You're a hard man to please.
The thing is, though, for Richmond, we redeem them and get them.
Yeah.
Security, you're going to have to look at them.
We were looking forward to it.
And then the big insert for Footy Stars is the Virtuoso card, which, again, I'm sure we're going to see a fantastic... Look, we've only seen 2 of them. It's hard to see, but it looks like they're like on some sort of metallic board.
Yeah.
2 players per team.
Yeah.
And it looks like that's a true case hit now, opposed to being 1 in 2 cases, which has been in previous years. So that looks brilliant.
Yeah.
But as you touched on before, the big revelation today, about an hour ago, is there is a virtuoso signature redemption.
Yeah.
And that is 6 stars of the game: Sam Walsh, Taylor Adams, Christian Petrarca, Bailey Smith, Dustin Martin,
And the GOAT.
and some bloke that is like a co-captain.
No,
Jack
he's
Steele.
the full captain this year. Thank you very much.
So I did see though someone had made a comment there that there's no international, no interstate representation, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, there could be debates and arguments about that, but I think that's definitely an interesting observation.
Well, I think it's one to definitely for people like us to ponder. Is it a situation where, okay, they've just gone on the basis of didn't matter what team, it was superstars of the game.
Yep.
Are they leaving the door open to be able to have other players and teams represented?
I didn't even think about
you
that.
know, are we going to see Prestige this year? If we see Prestige, does that mean there's going to be SIGs in Prestige as well? And is it going to be?
Thank you, Jono.
Oh, is it going to be alternating? So yeah,
the salmon does work for me. So I think they are some interesting observations, and our regular numbers man I did see before, Mark Kennedy, is already starting to do the numbers. So I look forward to Mark talking with you about your spreadsheet. Have a drink, Wade. So that'll be exciting. I really like, look, there's going to be people that are going to be upset saying that the product is ramping up and making it more or harder to collect. But honestly, as you said, for $2.99, I'm not sure how anyone can be critical by them adding more value and more things to collect and more things to chase. Whether or down the track those cards have any significant value.
It doesn't matter. $2.99, you're hitting cards that give you trade value back to the
Absolutely.
cards for your set.
Yeah.
So although it may seem like your outlay needs to be substantially bigger, and obviously if you're going after some of those SIGs, it's going to be more than what it's been in the past.
Yeah.
But overall, your exposure probably goes up by 20. Your financial exposure and expenditure goes up by like 20%, but the amount of cards you end up with in a set probably goes up by 50 or 60%.
Yep.
So it's actually a much better value proposition than what it's been previously.
And for breakers, it's a great breaking product. I think for people that are coming into stores and buying boxes themselves and opening it, like I loosely did some numbers yesterday from the information I had, and I reckon there's going to be 3 or 4 numbered cards in every box.
Yeah, every box.
It might be more, but my loose calculation was 3 or 4.
That's
whereas
right.
in Footy Stars last year, it was guaranteed 1. Sometimes you had 3.
So let's just talk about that for a second, because
Yeah, sure.
as soon as you say, oh, there's going to be double the amount of numbered cards per box,
Yep.
a lot of people will immediately think, oh, dilution, that means each numbered card, instead of being worth $40 that it was last year, means now because there's 4 per box, they're going to be worth $20. That's not how things work.
No.
We need to keep in mind that the individual print quantity of each particular card is what demonstrates its rarity.
Absolutely.
So whether there's 10 numbered cards or 2 numbered cards, it makes no difference. It's how many are printed of each of those particular card.
Yep.
What is the card type? What is the team representation? And what is the general demand around a particular player or card like that? So if you're out there and you're thinking, oh no, this is just going to devalue everything in the box, it's not. It's wrong.
It adds
value. That's right. It adds value, and you've got to shift your mentality away. In the same context that we talked about Supremacy Rookie, the cards themselves selling at were massively undervalued in the secondary market. And the only reason that happened is because of the psychology and the psychological aspect behind, because the boxes were $99 and not $199, people weren't grasping it right. Whereas those boxes probably should have been a lot more expensive because of what was coming out of them. And you'll see that. You'll see the price growth happen in the future.
And the same argument would be with things like Optimum last year, which was arguably so much more than a Series 2 release.
Yeah.
And as we just sort of talked about a little bit about the redemptions, these Select 30th anniversary cards with the gold stamp. So obviously it's Select's 30th anniversary. It's a special insert that they're putting in. It's not numbered, I believe.
Yeah.
But is that going to be a trend as well through future releases?
Well, for this year.
For this year.
You would think that
which would be really unique.
You would think that's a carry through of some sort.
And great. A great collectible
or if
item.
not, you would think if they're doing something to celebrate the 30 years in Series 1, we'll see that continue throughout the other releases this year.
Yep.
Something people also need to keep in mind is we know there's a lot of fatigue out there. A lot of people are feeling very overextended, let's say, after the year that was 2021 trading cards, and supremacy is what really capped that off. Everyone needs to be mindful that there is no, or as far as we know, there is no supremacy this year. 2021 is a year that will go down in history, in my opinion, as having the most substantial releases all back to back in a single year, and that won't happen again. So I would argue, like, if everyone survived their collecting and survived the hobby of an AFL card specifically in 2021 and came out the other side and have come into the new year refreshed and they're cool and they're good to go, well, the financial demand won't be as significant in 2022 for people to get their sets done.
Sure,
collectors.
But I would also argue, and I saw some commentary before about the signatures. You know, yes, it can be a little bit daunting when you're looking at $3.99 packs and stuff like that about chasing signatures.
Yeah.
And you know, obviously, personally, Dusty is obviously a chase me, but Sam Walsh collectors, Bailey Smith collectors, all those guys are probably going to be on the hook for some sort of 4-figure price to buy this card. But the way you've got to look at it is you're buying a $100 box or $105 box or a $1,200 case. You may hit a card in there that is just being added with extra value. So as much as there's fatigue,
there's so much added value.
There's so much value. It's still a $2.99 price point.
Look, I don't like to talk about it like this, but this is the reality and how people think. RRP, $105 a box.
Yep.
We haven't even done our spreadsheets because we're waiting for the checklist like everyone else.
Yep.
But I can tell already, based on just the preview so far, you'd be pretty hard pressed in your worst case scenario getting less than like 140 extracted value out of a box of secondary market.
I couldn't even start to guess.
Of cards. And that's the reality here. What Select is doing is, by not pushing up the packet price and the box price, is they're giving the end customer, which is all us and the people watching and all of us within this community and the hobby, they're giving us the value and us the opportunity to extract the value out of the product.
Yeah.
Because in most instances, most other companies and globally and around the world, they're just pushing up. They're pushing up the print run and they're pushing up the prices. Whereas selectors maintain their price levels, they're pushing their print run, but rather than increasing the print quantity of pre-existing cards, they're adding in or they're supplementing different cards in to then get the distribution model working. So it's fair to say the whole jumbo thing, it's increased the total production, but not to the extent of what people think. My estimate is the production's increased around 20%.
10 to 20%.
Price hasn't gone up. Value's gone through the roof now.
Which has been a trend
of
what it's selected on.
Absolutely.
I've seen a couple of comments there about Prestige. Just for the record, I have no idea if Prestige is coming. But all I will say is Prestige is very close to my heart. You know that. You know I love Prestige. It's been incredibly popular. It's a perfect pairing to Footy Stars. If I had to put $1 each way on it, I'd be backing that there is Prestige rather than there isn't.
Or something like Prestige.
I think
whether it's the same name,
but it's going to be a
Footy
Star.
There. It's been a
Stars
big winner, and especially if supremacy is every 2 years or whatever it is, and we're very confident there's no supremacy this year. There's got to be a release between Series 1 and Series 2. There just has to be. It's almost, it wouldn't make business sense for a card publisher in Australia not to do that.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? And that's the thing. And I think Kane Daniels there has just pointed out something really important here.
I can put that on the screen.
Kane says, he says, this product would have cost Select a heap more to produce from a design and print perspective, but they kept the prices the same. I'm impressed. And that is a really important thing that you've said there, Kane. And I think it underpins everything over the last 12 to 18 months. As much as we can be critical about different types of cards and all these different types of things and circumstances and situations, I think the underlying sentiment for me is that with the demand increasing, yes, Select is certainly selling more product and they're generating more revenue, but it is clear they are pumping a lot more back into their production, their design, their due diligence, and as much as some people don't want to hear it, their quality control has absolutely gone up and continues to go up. Yes, there will always be outliers and anomalies when they're testing new materials and trying new things for the first time. But fundamentally, if you look at their quality control now versus what it's been in previous years, it's actually far superior now.
So good question here from Bradley. So what's the early call, gents? Standard box, jumbo, or a mix? Well, I think quite simply a mix.
I think the mix
I
is
don't think
like-
it's going to be an issue of one or either. You know, if you're someone that collects players or collects subsets, there might be particular subsets you want to target. But I know as a consumer of breaks and a person that opens boxes, I want the white numbers cards. Sorry, daylight.
Yeah.
And I want the midnight numbers cards.
Yeah.
So I'm going to want both. I'm a master set collector for Richmond.
Yep.
I'm going to want it all. I think there is different value propositions and value adds in each set that make them both unique. And again, we, you know, obviously we list breaks here, but, you know, I'm sure mixed breaks of both boxes is going to be the way moving forward so that you get basically a double bite of the cherry.
Yeah. And look, the reality is I saw someone identified earlier on the Really Good Vibes page as well, just saying like, in terms of value, look, when someone says like, oh, this is a breaker's dream product, and I've had a few messages about it as well going, you know, as someone that's in the breaks business, you guys must be stoked with this type of product. And I said, well, at the moment, there's no product that hasn't been great for breaks because, as I said, I literally said it to someone in a message who I know is on the stream. I said, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Yep. At the end of the day, if it's good for breaks, the only reason someone perceives it to be good for breaks is because there must be a lot of value coming out of the box, which means there's a lot of hits. So whether you're involved in a break and you open it, or you're buying it off Select's website, or you buy it off our website, or you go to the supermarket or the 7-Eleven or whatever it is, the extracted value of the product doesn't change. It's good across the board. It's not better for a break than it is for anything else. It's great for everyone.
Yep.
And what's going to happen here is because there's so many inserts and so numbered cards and break prices are so cheap for a product at this level,
yep,
people are really going to get value for money in terms of volume.
Yep.
Like you would think in a case break, no team doesn't walk away with a huge pile of cards.
It's going to be, you know, again, without crunching the numbers, I'm pretty sure there's going to be an insert every pack.
Yeah.
Whether it's numbered or unnumbered.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's going to be a hit in pretty much every pack.
Yeah.
Good question here from Palmsy. Will Jumbo include the standard like Brownlows, etc., and will there be one insert or chance of multiple? So my understanding, Andrew, and again, until we see checklists, I'm really not sure. But the key differences I see is that the Footy Stars regular, let's call it, has the AFL classified card, which is this beautiful like white hollow card, and the Virtuoso. And the Jumbo has the blank canvas and the Virtuoso signature.
Yeah.
Again, don't hold me to that again until I see my spreadsheet and the checklist. I'm not going to know, but I think they're the two differences. All the other inserts
will all remain,
are all the same,
across.
or there's variations.
Or the variations.
So there might be a blue or a yellow or something like that.
It feels like the Jumbos have everything plus more insertion. Or there's a few replacements.
It's replacements. Yeah, like there seems to be only like those.
So it's like a parallel set.
Yeah, yeah.
So as much as it's
Hope that answers the question.
As much as it's like having Prestige already out, it's not quite Prestige.
No, absolutely not. No. And Prestige is
it's more of a priority box. It's a first of the line as opposed to a whole parallel
or a big
release.
starter pack.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Look, we have been going 30 minutes. We want to keep it short today. I hope we've answered all the questions. Obviously, Adam and I are always around if you want to shoot through questions. We will be at the Hobby Hangout on Sunday.
We will.
So if you're in Melbourne, please pop down and say hi. The Minx,
You're the farmer. You're the farmer.
You know, the Minx, Gorn, we'll all be there, so pop down. Obviously, get involved. Boxes we've got them already on pre-sale at RGB. Select will announce their sales, no doubt. Support your local card stores. Go and buy your servo packs. Go and jump in some cheap breaks. You know, it doesn't have to be with us, anyone, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go and get involved. This is a fun product that costs very little money to get involved.
Yeah.
And you know, get your kids involved, rip some packs, boxes.
This is certainly one to have fun with the kids. Supremacy, probably a bit difficult. Optimum, you know, I was very nervous even when my kid, who's good at opening packets, was opening. I get nervous. Footy Stars,
go for your life.
Have fun. Enjoy it. Get the folders. The folders get damaged. Get a new one. They're only like $10 or whatever they are. They're like, this is a fun release. And that's the other thing is I just want to remind people as well, this is not a Series 2 product. This is certainly not a specialized Supremacy type of product. This is a Series 1 $3 a pack product.
Everyone can
There's a lot of shiny new thing about it and everything, but just keep in mind, this is the first release for the year, guys.
Yep.
don't have your expectations too high and don't overcook it either. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be very hard to find products like this that will match up against the things that we saw late last year.
Yep.
So just keep in mind, we're early in the year.
Yeah, but Andrew,
this is a huge start, and,
Yeah.
and it'll only get better from here as well.
Yeah. But Andrew, they're $6 packs because they're double the cards.
Yeah.
So it's 18 cards instead of 9. So it's not a more expensive
No,
pack.
it's exactly the same.
It's exactly the
Because
same.
there's less packets in a box, less cases in a less boxes in a case.
The numbers, they're both $105 boxes.
Yeah.
Both have the same amount of
Same
cards.
amount of cards.
One has 36 packs of 9, the other one has 18 packs of 8.
And we believe they both have the same, if not similar, hit ratios, with maybe slightly a little bit more in the jumbos.
Yep.
Yeah.
So have fun, enjoy yourself, be kind to everybody. We'll obviously everyone will know more details tomorrow with checklists and on sale dates and all that kind of stuff. I imagine it's going to be around 1st of March.
We're planning to do a live pod, hopefully on Sunday from the Hobby Hangout at some point.
We'll definitely be doing some live streams.
Yeah. So you know, if we can talk more about Footy Stars, we definitely will. And
I'm sure Gat would love to come on the show and have a
more
chat.
information. You know, we could have plenty of guests on Sunday.
Hop in.
Half the hobby is there. So
all right, guys, have a great day. Jenks, are you back to 3RW now, or?
Yeah, look out soon. We're gonna post up my 3AW interview from this morning. Trying to do what I can to really, you know, put the hobby out there and on the map.
You're the king, mate. All right, guys, ciao.
You're the real king.